Hey there, kids. You know how I spoke in the last episode about all kinds of things to do in Jacksonville? Well, there's a lot of things going on right now in Jacksonville, and these are actually some big things. There's some celebrations going on, two national celebrations, and one big local one. The Bicentennial celebration, Jacksonville turns 200, Jacksonville, Florida. The Juneteenth celebration, celebrating the emancipation of slaves and their migration towards the South and the East, and also the Pride celebration, the LGBTQ community celebrating their pride with their rainbows. Let's start with the bicentennial celebration. I said that there was both good and bad. Well, we know that there can be some good to a city celebrating its 200-year history, of course. And one of the things I've heard that's negative is that the 200-year history of this town is really not much to, you know, celebrate about. There was still bad things. The city still has some Confederate monuments up. Some of the people have said that they can't seem to find anybody interested in going to the celebrations. There are people saying that why don't we go ahead and celebrate the future, the next 200 years? Maybe we can have some change in this city. Makes sense to me. The mayor of Jacksonville and the city council have refused to remove certain Confederate monuments. Now, they have removed some, and there's always a solution to that. Take them down. And there is a group, Take Them Down Jacks, who have been involved in going to the city hall to, protest every chance they get when the city hall meets about it. And it's going back in the news again anyway. The 200-year history going back again with the Confederate monuments. For one, Jacksonville was not a Confederate stronghold, it was a Union stronghold. And these monuments were all erected during Jim Crow. I mean, they have really no celebratory value to them. I mean, the Confederates lost the war, and they were fighting clearly to maintain slaves. So there is some grumbling about that. Juneteenth and both Juneteenth and Pride are being objected to by pretty much the same crowd. The far right Christian evangelicals, who also happen to be Trump supporters, who are pro-lifers, and they they either grumble out loud or under their breath that why do they have to have a Juneteenth celebration, or why do they have to have a gay pride celebration, pride parades, and so forth. And they're pretty much the same people on the same mindset. Um, it's just hate, and they use the word tolerance, which they have over the years turned into a dirty word. Really, it's a dirty word. Uh, you shouldn't have to say you tolerate, gay people in your family or your friend circle. More along the lines of acceptance, love. I mean, when was the last time a gay couple affected your life? When was the last time a gay person, single, affected your life? Never. They don't want more rights. They just want to be recognized and have equal rights. I don't see why the evangelicals can't get that through their damn heads. Just stubborn. Old school, stubborn. And of course, it's being fueled by the fine folks at Fox News. I guarantee you'll see that in the news, both of those, the Juneteenth celebrations and the Pride celebrations. They're, they're just, spewers of propaganda. They, they just, they can't seem to get it through their damn heads that gay folks deserve equal treatment, just as black folks deserve equal treatment under the law. They need to be protected under the law. Those are also the people that shouted to the rooftops when Roe v. Wade was being challenged. They're just unaccepting. I've heard some of the remarks. I've seen some of the remarks on social media. Just plain ugly. I don't get it. I don't get it. Well, if you think about it, they, again, are unaccepting. And they push their agenda. They still don't have a separation of church and state. There's a pastor in Texas. Last name is Awe, A-W-E. Google him. He is spewing hate from the pulpit, claiming that all homosexuals should be tried and convicted of crimes for their sins and executed. He said in his church from the pulpit they should be lined up against a wall and shot in the back of the head. The back of the head. Holy crap. Holy crap. And he ain't the only one. There's other ones. There's other ones. Well, let's see what else is in the news going forward. There is a lot in the news, and one of the things is the distraction of the Insurrection Committee, taking everybody's mind off mass shootings. Kyle Rittenhouse wanting to go to A&M, and they said, no way, Jose. That kid is an idiot. And that was a travesty of justice, too. God damn. But it's a distraction from everything, but it's also very important. And I spoke about the insurrection shortly after it happened, many months ago, on much earlier episodes, 2 episodes. And so I thought that I would go forward with covering it with a special episode as the Insurrection Committee continues forward. And we'll see where that goes. So, and you still have Governor Ron DeSantis doing wacky shit down there in Tallahassee, state of Florida. I mean, the man he's a whack job. If you follow any of the bills that he's been signing. Now, there's a couple of bills that sound pretty good. Sure. I mean, not everything he writes is stupid, but he doesn't want to give certain people money. He doesn't want to, he still, claims to be fighting with Disney over his Don't Say Gay bill. He's still standing strong on that, standing strong on banning those books. It's just crazy. As far as the Johnny Depp and Amanda Heard thing, well, Johnny Depp has already announced that he'll be going on tour with Jeff Beck. That'll be interesting. He already appeared in one concert with him and now says that they're going on tour and will probably release an album. So he's just moving on. He is moving on. And he made remarks about, moving on. And, of course, Amanda Heard didn't care for that. I got to tell you, most of us just didn't believe her. Just did not believe her. It appeared as though both of them were toxic towards each other. There was probably abuse on both sides, but he'll not see a dime from her. I mean, it might be on paper, but he'll probably not see a dime of that money unless she borrows it from somewhere. So, I'm going to go ahead and let's have some closing thoughts here. Um, in my closing thoughts, I want to talk about the celebrations, the hate, and what that means. It means that a lot of those evangelicals and those people are not bending. They're not changing. They are spending a lot of time, frankly, and I don't think there's any dispute with this. They spend an awful lot of their day watching Fox News. They do. I mean, if they're not watching, the business reports and stuff like that, buddy, they tune in 9 o'clock to watch Sean Hannity, 10 o'clock Laura Ingraham, and of course, they pick up on some of the Tucker Carlson crap. That guy's a fucking idiot. They are poisoning a large number of people, and the demographic is 40s to 60s. That speaks volumes because they're all old school and they're not going to change. You can't teach those old dogs new tricks. And they're not looking for information, they're looking for affirmation. They're wanting to hear, and that Laura Ingraham is just disgusting. She laughs about the stuff she talks about. All they do is bash and bash and bash and bash Democrats, those socialist liberals. And they still, have interviews with President Donald Trump and still talk about everything he did for this country. When in fact, one of the big things about our oil situation right now stems from a deal he made with the Saudis to continue arms. I mean, look it up. It's not a secret. I know Fox won't tell you that shit because they're just spreading propaganda. Well, that's all I'm going to go with today. With all of this hate and ugliness, going on in the world, and all this hate and propaganda and ugliness that's being spewed on the airways. And airways, I mean Fox and OAN and, the other ones, you got Newsmax. And, I mean, those people are full of shit. Full of shit. Everything they say is out of context. Now, granted, CNN takes a lot of words out of context, too. But I'm not a big CNN watcher. Be honest with you, I watch some of it, but not all, not an awful lot of it, because it leans to one side too. I don't look at news for affirmation. I look at news for information. Of course, on my personal Facebook page, I say a lot of crap because I'm 61 years old and don't give a fuck. You get to a certain age and you just don't give a fuck. You're not going to change my mind, just like you're not going to change their mind. You're not going to change my mind because actually the Democratic side of the aisle is actually a better alternative. I mean, it may not be the best model right now, and they've certainly had their problems. I'm not denying that. But it is a better choice. It is a better choice. And the division, it's just been unbelievable. It's been going on for decades, but, it started going really bad when Donald Trump got in office. So with all of this, hate and division going on, you know what, folks? In the meantime, keep pushing, keep striving. Take care of yourselves and each other. Until next time, peace.